I want to talk to you about content aware and some features that may not be familiar to you this week. And while we get there, I'm going to show you one filter that is very little used, but you may find it interesting. So this is a photograph I took last week, and it's going to work for this demo because it has some convoluted lines here, and let me go up here and get it where I started, and we need to straighten those out. And then I want to take out this grass by his foot, but I want to do it with content aware rather than using the clone tool because it's going to give me a little bit more automatic result. So the first thing I want to do is kind of straighten this out, and I have a lot of strange lines going on here, so I want to get rid of this shadow, so I'm going to crop in just a bit, and I'm going to leave that bit of the shadow because I want, actually I can come in just a wee bit. I was going to leave it because I didn't think there'd be enough room over here, but there was. So first thing I want to do is go up to Filter and Adaptive Wide Angle, which I'm betting you've never used because I've rarely used it myself until recently when I discovered it. So you draw a line over a line which should be straight, either horizontal or vertical, and it's going to make that line straight. Come down here and try the same here, and you see how it straightens everything out, and you can draw a number of these lines, and look at how cool that is. And this is still curvy over here, and bam, right there. So now we have a bunch of lines that are actually much straighter than the original, and I am going to click OK. Now remember, we have content aware fill, which allows us to use the material that's there to fill in spots that aren't. So keep it fairly close to the edge, and the keyboard shortcut for that is Shift Delete on the Macintosh, Shift Backspace on the PC. That did a really nice job on that, and it's going to do a really nice job over here as well because that's super easy for it to fill in. And that's all we need to do to very much straighten out this image. So let me do a before and after to show you where we started and how nicely straightened that is. So we have some nice lines that match the lines on the edges of our image. Makes it a whole lot easier. Now if I come in here with content aware, and I'm going to make sure I snapshot that just so we've got it. If I come in here with content aware and go in here like this and hit the content aware tool, which is under Edit, Fill, and Content Aware. You may have to scroll to it, but the keyboard shortcut is Shift Delete on the Macintosh, Shift Backspace on the PC. If I come in here and do that, you can see how it picks up other things and kind of mashes them into this area. So I'm going to go back a step and not do that. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take and select this part right here, just make sure I get as much rock as I can in there, and I'm making a new layer, just so I'm doing this on a copy of the layer, and I'm going to make a layer mask of that. So now I've got just that on the layer that's visible, and the rest is covered up by the layer mask. Now when I come in here and select this and tell it to make content aware, much better result for us. I can come in here, content aware, and it's only using the material that's visible. I don't even have to erase that layer. I only have to mask it. So now when I come in, that is much more like I want it to be. So if I want to get rid of this grass, I'd come up there and do the same thing. Let me just check it out. Yeah, I want to over here. Let me just get rid of this grass up here. And you can see what a nice job it's doing in creating territory that looks like the surrounding territory but doesn't bring in all that junk that we had before. So if you need to darken it down just a little bit, just come in with a very slight, in this case, it wouldn't happen very often, but just come in with the burn tool and a little bit of darkening to kind of match the area around it. So that is how you would kind of modify the content aware tool to make it easier to select a certain part but not get everything around it. If you've got something next to an edge, this is how you would handle it. And because the change is on its own layer, if it happened to go over the leg, I could certainly take care of that too. I could come in here again and do the same thing with this shadow right here. So I could come in and copy the layer again. I'm going to come up here, bring it to the top so it's what we see. But remember, I'm going to mask everything. So I'm going to take this part right here and bring that and mask everything else out. So you see that's all I have at this point. And again, all I need to do is surround the stuff that I want to change. Go on the layer, not the layer mask. And you really don't even have to worry about the edges because remember it's a mask. So you can't really go outside of the edges. And there you go. So if we look at it, we've got a nice, nice clean edge for that shadow with none of that grass down there, and really can make a difference when you are trying to use content aware fill but you're next to an edge. This is a great technique for getting by that. Okay, that's all for today.